Today we are going to be solving Leetcode problem 141, linked list cycle. This is listed as an easy problem. Given the head of a linked list, determine if the linked list has a cycle in it. Basically, as we're going through the linked list, does it somehow point back to itself again, which would create a cycle, an endless cycle, going over and over and over. So we're given a data structure as head as an array, or in this case, comes in as an object pointing to the next. So it goes 3, 2, 0, -4, and then this parameter of position equaling 1. So it's saying index 1 of the linked list is where it cycles back. Okay, so in this example, there is a cycle, so we would return true. In this example, there is a cycle. It starts back at the beginning, so we would return true. If position or pause is equal to -1, then we return false because there's no cycle in the linked list. However, pause is not given to us as a parameter, so we have to determine, is there a cycle in the linked list, right? So it took me a second to think about this. We could easily store an array of the items that we've seen and then check that array every time, but the challenge here is try and do it without using any extra memory space, right? And also that would prolong the amount of iterations because you would be creating this array of items. They would get bigger and bigger, and you would have to loop through that array again and check if you've seen that item that you're on, right? So an easier solution to this is we simply, as we're iterating through, we're getting past head, which is a list node, and we simply just add an extra property to this class saying that we've seen it before. And if we ever come across it again, that property will exist, and we can simply return right there. So the way that this will look in Python is first we're going to have our exit case. So we'll say if our head is none, then return false. This is kind of checking, because we're going to call this recursively, so this will kind of exit us out. Then we'll say if has attribute head, and we'll call it seen, then we return true. And then we'll set seen to true, and then we'll return as cycle head.next. Okay, I'm going to do self. Okay, so let's take a look at this for a second. So what we're doing, we're first having our exit case. If head is none, because if next, or what we get past is empty, we return false. If we've seen this node already, meaning if head has seen on it as an attribute, we return true. Then we set head.seen to true, and then we return has cycle head.next. So we're recursively calling this, and we're basically looping through. And as we go through, we check, have we seen this before? No. Then we set seen to true. Go to the next one. Have we seen this before? Repeat that until we get to here. Then we'll go back to this one. We'll check, have we seen this one? Yes. And then we return true. If we got to the end and there was no cycle, then head.next would be none, and we would return false right here. All right, let's run this. Seems to be good. All right, we'll go ahead and submit it. All right, there you go. So that's a valid solution. So we're basically just setting an extra property on the object to true. This takes very little space to the existing property already, and we're just checking as we loop through. And once we hit one we've already seen, we exit out. All right, thanks for watching.